Welcome back to Talks with Tom. This is episode 2. I'm Tana, this is Tom, and today we're going to continue to highlight some of our COVID response platforms. So Tom, it's a pretty crazy market right now. We have a ton of things hitting the market at all different times. It can be really challenging to figure out what you need to keep your business running, what you need to get kids back in school, and those kinds of things. So Tom, what are we going to be talking about today?
Thank you, Tana. Over the past 5 or 6 months, we've seen a flurry of activity hitting the market in regards to COVID response. And as from a Matrix-NDI standpoint, our role is really to listen to our customers to see what capabilities or functionality they need to be in business, right? To get back into schools, to be doing revenue-generating activities, etc. Our approach was to take the products in, evaluate them, go through some proof of concepts, and really kind of dig deep into what the devices were and what value they brought our customers. So from a core functionality standpoint, as we discussed in our last Tom Talk, we identified a subset of requirements that are pretty standard across the board. Most of our clients are trying to detect temperature, right? So they're setting a threshold of temperature that they want to track and then make sure that anyone with a higher than threshold temperature was not let in the building, right? So temperature is number one. Mass detection was another analytic that came into play that was kind of required as people move into the common areas of the buildings. And then after that, it kind of got into a number of different functionalities. We heard a lot of demand for occupancy tracking, right? So the number of people in and out of a building. Hand sanitization came up in a couple of the surveys as kind of a core requirement. And then again, the reporting and the data and the availability of all that information to be available for what we don't know in the future, right? Internally, but then also in the future for compliance, risk mitigation, etc. So we really baked off these products and understood what they're good at. And then we also looked at it from the standpoint of where they came from. A number of the devices have come from the electronics world, right? So from the Android tablet to kind of the thermal optics world. Some came from the security world, like the Genetec solution that we talked about already, but then also the medical field. In our feedback trials and our proof of concepts, we really try to go through and understand what they were all good at, core functionality. And then, the biggest thing was also all these devices are producing a ton of data, right? They're IoT devices sitting on customers' networks. We really want to dig in to make sure that whatever we stood behind, right, and whatever we brought in our product portfolio produced secure data and was manufactured by the right people. So I think we put together a great set of solutions that really, accomplish either subsets of the requirements or all the requirements, depending on the vertical, the requirements, and frankly, the budget.
Now we're going to flip it over to some of the products within the COVID platform and COVID response. Tom, what are we going to be highlighting today?
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about the Synergy Clear Kiosk and the Goodview Thermal Scanner, each of which, I think fit a certain criteria. And really we're going to focus on core functionality, what the devices are good at, and how they can add value to our clients, their infrastructure, their day-to-day operations.
Our first product is the Goodview Thermal Scanner. This device is a very straightforward design and very easy to use. The interaction with the individuals coming in the door happens within a second, so it's a great entry point to our mid-market. Essentially, this device is an Android-based tablet paired up with a high-end thermal array that allows the unit to take leaving body leaving temperature, detect a mask, and provide access within a second. Our next solution that we're going to talk about today is the Synergy Clear Kiosk. This kiosk is unique in a multitude of different ways. So we talked about the core functionality of having to take living body human temperature and detect masks. But what this device also integrates into the methodology is the ability to administer a U.S. government-approved survey, as well as a motion-activated hand sanitizer that is tied into the reporting functionality of the device. So the really impressive part about this device is it completely removes the need for humans to be interacting with individuals coming into the door. Our last device is the Footfall occupancy tracking sensor. This is an extremely easy to deploy IoT device and essentially tracks the number of visitors in a building at any given time. The device sits in your network and performs a critical task of tracking occupancy in any building or set area. The core functionality of the device is to alert or notify any employee if a certain area or building has exceeded the occupancy threshold.
Thanks for coming to episode 2 of Talks with Tom. Again, I'm Tana. This is Tom. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Follow us on all social media channels. All the information will be below this video. Thank you.
Thank you.